Perfect.
Okay. All right, you ready? You ready?
Yeah, I'm on born ready.
Ah. All right, everybody, welcome to SlapSon. We got the man in the building. If you try and slap him, he'll slap you back. You feel me? You get kicked out of the house. He stays in the house. You want to feel it one time? It's going to be over quick. We have evidence. You think it's going to be slow? It's not. He touches you, you die. It's the chief, my boy. He's got a diamond to let you show how pure he is on his fucking neck. What's up, everybody? Everybody, welcome Kealii Kanekoa, the chief. What's up, baby?
I love it. What's up, my guys?
Dude, I'm so glad you're on. I'm so glad you're on.
Same, likewise. This is epic. Look forward to it.
Dude, I actually I checked this guy out of school early because it's been a minute since he's been on the show, bro.
Yeah. Nice. Getting that coverage, huh?
Yeah, baby. Yeah. Let me crack this can open and we'll get talking, baby.
Good.
We're showing Timmer your match. And I said, okay, now listen. This guy's gangster. He talks to this fool before he smacks him. So we'll get to that. Timmer wants to ask you about that, but I gotta ask you, man. We've talked to Pono a couple of times, actually. Mm-hmm. Such a cool guy, so down to earth. But I want to know when all that went down in the house. That guy's barking, right? And I know, but we're just going to rip the Band-Aid off. I know you've talked about it on some other podcasts and shit. But, dude, what do you think was going through, first of all, your brother's mind when that's going down? And then what are you thinking in your mind where that guy is just like, bro, why are you, like, honestly, as a fan, I felt like, why does he keep talking? So.
Yeah, so to elaborate on that, for me, what's going through my mind is just like I could hear him barking in the background, as I said in other interviews, but at the same time, I care less because I'm here to take over. So whoever is going to be my future opponent is like, okay, I hope you're ready because I am who I am. I have a high credibility of where I came from the MMA sport, and transitioning to powerslap. So having a kid that has no combat experience, it was like a slap in my face. So I'm like, dude, come on now. You have not been on my level, which I had said on the show. So coming into that, my first instinct was like, that's the master flincher. So that's the only thing. That's the only thing that came to it. As soon as I turned around, I saw his face, and then one of the gentlemen that came into the house with me, he was like, hey, dude, that's the guy that you named the Master Flincher. So I'm like, oh, okay, now I can put a name to the face. But then that's how everything went. For my brother, I mean, I think he was sleeping at the moment when it first happened, when me and Brandon Kerr first got into it. He was sleeping. I'm not too sure if some of the gentlemen had told you, but there was like an illness going around the house and stuff. And I think I lost you guys. I'm not too sure what oh, okay.
Okay, you're good, man. You're good.
Yeah, so there was an illness that was going around in the house, and my brother, he fell to it too, so he had to get some of his rest in, and he also had a fractured hand. So other than that, he did not know that anything was happening. He got up last minute, so he couldn't really be a part of what went down in the first altercation that happened with me and Brandon Kerr.
Right. Yeah, watching it, it was like, it's crazy because it's not, dude, I'm trying to think how to say this, but it's not like that guy had to have known, right? Like, mad respect, right? Like, I'm not out there. I'm not getting smacked. I'm not on the podium, all those kinds of things. But, like, I think he went in there with a lot of fear, man, or, like, nervousness.
Yeah.
And then that's what like, came out because I watched that episode a couple of times, and I'm just like, dude, this guy he feels lost a little bit. You know what I mean?
Correct. No, I feel like, I see most of his comments, but I ended up choosing to block him. I mean, every man has a choice. Every human being has a choice, right? And I'm not going to entertain someone like that because of his nature. I'm not too sure how he grew up, if he was mentally abused or whatever, but it seems like he wants attention, and that's pretty much what he's here for. He's not here to tell his story and utilize the platform to share greatness. He's here to just make and mockery of it, you know, not just to the other athletes that came onto the show, but also the production too. So that kind of sucked for him.
Yeah, and
Sometimes,
then in that instance, it's like the preview they did a good job. They didn't do you dirty or anything, but when they show you walking in, ripping up the paper, like
yeah.
y'all, he fucked up. I'm out of the house. I thought it was you, dude.
Oh
So
no.
I did because how they edited it, I was like, no, you know what I mean. But then you watch, and it was like, oh, okay, this
Yeah.
makes more sense.
He was just rubbing. I mean, he was rubbing shoulders the wrong way. But like I said, not just with the competitors, but also the production. That's just one thing. You know, with the competitors, it's fine. You can bring drama into the show. That's what everyone wants, right? Everyone wants to see drama, a little bit of hostility here and there. But other than that, when you cross the line with the production or even the security, and then I'm sorry, but you have to leave, dude. It's not just our safety, but it's their safety too, like Dana White said.
Yeah, it was. My jaw actually dropped when he had the balls to go after the security.
I know.
Like,
Yeah,
are
that's
you
crazy.
like,
I
are
don't
you
know.
out of your mind?
Yeah, you have to
Yeah.
be some sort of crazy to do that.
Yeah, I'm baffled too. You know, like he should have just waited, and I should have waited too. But at the same time, I'm happy that Robert Kiefer got his, you know, the privilege to be on the show and tell his story. So that's what it's about, right? It's about other people in this life telling their story and having the privilege to be on there, you know, to do so.
Yeah, no, I agree, dude. That really is an amazing perspective. So watching your match, Timmer's got a question for you, man. Right, right before you
Yeah.
put that fool out.
No, Raspernak, how did you stay so calm and like what was going through your head when you told him that you don't have to worry. It's gonna be over really soon. Like you can
Yeah,
go home soon.
good question. So I've been in several different platforms, from MMA to bare knuckle boxing and other promotions that I'm happy that I got the privilege to do so. So that developed that mindset to where when I step onto the platform, I'm not engaged with the surroundings. So just being there in that moment, that's the real thing. The focus to focus your energy into a that significant strike or the strike that I was delivering to my opponent, that's what it came down to. I had to zero out everything else, which I'm used to, and then being that calm, it just comes with experience.
And the words you speak right before you hit him, is
Yeah.
that improv, or are you thinking about that on your way to the podium?
No, that was actually in the moment. Yeah, that was actually in the.
That's so
It's
gangster, dude.
someone had posted, and I just reposted their story too. It was more poetic than anything else, and for me, that's how it is. Is and also I didn't want my opponent coming into this thinking that I'm about to demolish him or kill him in any sort of way. So it wasn't about that because I do have a heart. Don't get me wrong. Although this is a malicious sport, I mean this is the hurt business for a reason, right? But other than that, I'm not trying to put Kiefer's lights out. If it was a different person, if it was Brandon Kirk, for sure, 100%. But other than that, yeah, it was just right off the moment.
Man, that's crazy. That poetic is a good way to put it, man, because it was just so. I was telling Timmer, watch this dude's hand when he measures, and then watch up to his shoulder. I swear, dude, your arm grew 3 times.
Yeah.
Like, because your frame is kind of thin, right? It's kind of slim. But
Yeah.
then you walk up there and you line it up. I was like, it looked like your arm grew. And then when you went for it, there was that poor guy, man. Like his story is really tugs at your heart. And
Hmm.
at the end when he's crying, like, do you watch that after the match stuff in the show, or you don't pay attention to that because it's too personal?
It's too personal. I stay out of that type of stuff. But I've been engaging a little bit more, and just so I know a little bit of my opponent's background, and that way, if I do ever have an interview, I can share it too. Because it's not just about myself, but it's also about the people that I've went against. So if I'm having more of a platform that they have, then I get to share their story too.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it, man. That's a really good way to look at it. Other organizations, you started an MMA, right?
Yeah.
What Do you think that journey is what was supposed to bring you to Power Slap, or is Power Slap kind of just, yeah, I'll give this a try?
Oh no! I mean, it just needed more excitement. Power Slap needed more excitement in the middleweight division, and which is why I'm here. I could have stayed in bare knuckle or MMA if I wanted to. I'm still active. I actually have a few matches lined up, but we'll see. You know what I mean? Right now, Power Slap is super active, and we have a couple locations that's locked and sealed. So I'm looking forward to that.
That's cool, man. Which organization for MMA?
So I usually go back and forth with Cage Warriors or Bellator. So I have a good
Oh,
relationship
okay.
with both.
Yeah, that's cool. So my first MMA match that I watched was Randy Couture versus Liddell 3.
Oh wow, yeah,
So,
that's a good times.
dude, I watched that match and I became the biggest. I was hooked. I'm such an MMA nerd. Like,
It
I
was
was like,
different. I mean, it was so much different now compared to what it is. I mean, I just watched Garrett Goodridge's video
oh
with
yeah,
yeah, and he was explaining about that crucifix elbow that he did, and that went viral at that time. At that time, and it's still viral into this day. So I'm like, wow, a lot of people were their lives changed because of UFC and how it started.
yeah, no, it's true. And what's cool about Power Slap as well, I was talking to King DeFrank the other day, and the guys that kind of get it, like honestly, you, Pono, King, you kind of know that like, oh hey, we can we can blow ourselves up. We can make a brand out of ourselves. We can make a name out of ourselves. And it's
That's what
interesting
matters.
because whether you win matches or not, as long as you're the guy, you can really build a whole new world for you guys.
A bigger brand for yourself, and not just for yourself, but also the people that you represent. So
Yeah, 100%.
that's the things that I take into consideration whenever I'm going onto any platform, is that I have a lot of people that look up to me, so I have to represent them at my fullest.
Yeah, I love that. So you grew up which island? Did you grow up in Hawaii?
Big Island, yeah,
Big Island? And
yeah.
then what are you you're in the stateside now though, San Diego?
I no, I'm currently in Oklahoma.
Oh, right on. Dude, what
Yeah.
took you to Oklahoma?
Well, I'm visiting family for now, but after my next match, I can't really say that right now. But after my next match, I'm moving to Miami.
Oh, dude, right on. We go to I'll hit you up. We go to Miami about 3 times a year, my wife and I.
Nice. Yeah,
Go to what's that?
I go to Art Basel, so I'm going to be attending Art Basel December 6th to the 13th. So every year.
Oh, very cool, dude. That's awesome. We just go for Club Live. We just
I
go.
love I love Club Live.
Last time we were there, we saw Snoop. Man, it was fantastic.
Nice.
So moving away from the sport a little bit, and we'll find our way back. I really am curious, bro. Like, what's the ink going on? Do they tell stories? Is it
Yes,
lineage, family? Like, what's going on?
absolutely. So on this side, it's more so on the yin and yang. So it's like Japanese, um, where I have the tiger, dragon, all that kind of stuff on this side, and that's just showing me, like the positive and the negatives of life. And I have to reassure myself all the time because it's always yin and yang, right? You can't always be negative, you can't always be positive, and you have to find balance. You have to find a fine tune of that. On this side, it's all dedicated to all the people that I've lost in my life. So this is my best friend, Arif, my sister, my classmate, and this is the district that I came from, which is Pune.
Oh, very
I've
cool.
said it several times on like big platforms where I fight out of. So Pune, we lost in from our recent volcanic eruption, not the recent, but the first volcanic eruption that happened in 2018, and
Oh, for real?
yeah, it just took out. That's the reason why I'm here now. That's the reason why I'm living in the States, because I didn't see any change at all. So I need to make a change, right? If it's not the environment, I mean, if it is the environment that you're living in, then you just got to move from that environment to somewhere else in order to progress. And I'm happy that I did. I wouldn't be sitting here right now or even competing with Power Slap if I didn't make that change.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
These tattoos are dedicated to family. The one on my neck, that was a diamond. So shout out to Mercedes and Anthony Burchek in Tucson, at 10 Planet Tucson. I've spent some time over there, and I trained BJJ over there. But also, I got to meet the community, and they accepted me as family. So I developed that name where I've been through a ton of stuff in my life, um, and as we all know, pressure creates a coal into a diamond, correct? So that's where I got that tattoo from. This is my first tattoo, no fear. I got that in like 8th grade. I wouldn't recommend it to any other kids, but I got that to 8th grade.
Hey, you're a year late. You're a year late. You gotta go get your first tat.
But yeah, I got that in 8th grade. It was just because of certain regulations, rules and regulations that if I wanted to work in that division, that I wouldn't be able to. So I knew if I got a tattoo on my neck, then I wouldn't be considered for that job, if that makes sense.
Oh,
So,
dude, so you got your first tat to get out of a job, bro?
yeah.
Oh, I love that so
Yeah.
much, dude.
That's so
I'm not that person who's gonna follow rules and stuff. So I love to live life to the fullest and on the edge all the time. So I know being restricted to certain things and within that job setting, I was not going to be able to.
Yeah, it's funny, right? That makes me think. I'm trying to remember the podcast I was listening to, but fighters and guys that are into combat sports, in general, if they really are pure for that, that's what they're about. They don't care what you think. They don't want to live a cubicle life. They're living the life they want, and I think that's powerful, honestly.
Correct. I mean, right now I'm actually transitioning from my podcast, which is Travel Talks with the Chief, to the Travel Travels with the Chief. I'm going to be going global. Yeah, I'm going to be going global. So I'm going to touch bases like around the world where it's like very, very, it's a hardcore living. And I want to shed light in that kind of area where I could find a future star, the future star of powerslap, the future star of MMA, just of that sort, but just giving them a platform to tell their story.
And just like investigating different gyms and things and finding that,
Correct.
diamond in the rough kind of a thing.
They're living. Oh, yes, exactly. Well put.
Dude, that's awesome. Okay, should I show them mine?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
If you want to.
I'm going to show you my ink, bro.
Let's go.
I'm cool too. You know what I'm saying? Okay. You ready?
Yeah.
You guess what it is, bro?
What you got going, bro?
Yeah, we got this. Get the camera.
Okay. Okay, ready?
Hey, Chief, we got a show going, bro. Okay, you ready?
Let's go. Yes. Wait. Please tell me. Okay, is that your wife's? No.
It's his wife. It's his wife's handwriting and her mouth.
Oh, that's
What's up, dude? So, dude, I got it because, hey, man, you can look on Instagram. My wife's gorgeous, okay? I can't believe I got her, being real. But her mouth has caused me the most joy and the most pain in my life, brother. So I put it on the back to remind me, son.
Oh, that's aces.
We're in the family.
I love it. That's aces, dude.
Let me put this gear back on.
Yeah, okay.
Here, talk to Chief while I get dressed.
So how'd you find out about the sport?
I actually found out from the Crazy Hawaiian. So I reached out to him, and that's the reason why I'm here. So shout out to the Crazy Hawaiian, because I was interested. I saw several of his fights before in the past, and then I saw where the platform was, where it's at, and I was like, wait, no way, Dana White is like the founder of this, or one of the founders of this. Okay, how am I going to be able to get on this? So I reached out to the Crazy Hawaiian. He was like, do you want to compete? And I was like, of course. Who do I have to speak to? He was like, oh, you have to speak to Erica. So I reached out to Erica, and that's how I got on the show. Or not.
Is Erica like a is she like a casting agent?
No, she's a matchmaker.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, well, it's all talent and all that kind of stuff too. She does it all. Shout out to Erica, because I'm pretty sure a lot of people harass her for a lot of stuff, and that kind of gets irritating. But at the same time, I'm grateful because I wouldn't be here right now if it wasn't for that woman, for sure.
Dude, that's crazy. We've talked to we've talked to your brother. We talked to Crazy, and I think first of all, I don't know. It's cool that like it's a family thing, you know, and I'm not just talking, you know, family. Just because genetically you're related doesn't make you family. Do you know what I mean? And this culture that's coming up, I mean, dude, you can feel it. Like Power Slap doesn't know what's coming when it comes to the Island Boys. They are
Yeah.
built for this shit.
Everyone keeps saying that, which is true. It is very true. Well, it's not just the Polynesian culture too, but it's also several other indigenous cultures that have that same mentality and also the power. Um, the physical attributes. I don't know about that. I mean, other than African Americans, they're pretty big and tough too, and the Samoans. So, but yeah, we do have a stamp in this promotion.
Yeah, you absolutely do. What are your aspirations, bro? Do you want to, I mean, the easy answer is be champ, right? But like, is that really what you want to be that
Absolutely.
guy?
I wouldn't be here right now if I didn't want that title wrapped around my waist, you know. So that's what I've written in the stars. You know, I've said this multiple times to where I've manifested everything that I have right now because I truly believe in myself being the next champion of the middleweight division.
So what's up? Do they like Abu Dhabi's coming up, right? And
Yeah,
then we got the residency in Fontainebleau for Vegas, which we're pumped about because we can go to every freaking match. But do they give you a hint, leave you completely in the dark when it comes to like your path in the sport? Do you know what I mean?
no,
Like, do you know what do you got to do to get that belt?
I know that I have two other jaws left to go through and hang them up on my board, you know. So when I say that, it's, you know, metaphorically speaking, it's their jawline, and but compared to the Hawaiian culture, we hunt all the time. We hunt for boars. So when I say I'm going to take another jaw and add it to the list, it's like what we're doing with the boars. So we take the tusk and stuff and we hang it on our board, you know. So that's the next trophy. So when I'm taking jaws, which I mean by that is whoever is next, whoever they put in front of me. I do know who I'm competing though against in the next show, in my
Oh,
next
you
show.
do.
I have a contract too, so I'm not too sure if I'm supposed to disclose that information or not. But I
You're
have it.
calm, man. Nobody's listening. It wouldn't get out. You're fine.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm
We
favorable.
won't tell anybody. We won't tell anybody.
Thank you. I mean, if you guys, I don't really care, but I'm going against UK Godfrey
Okay.
in
Yeah.
Abu Dhabi. In Abu Dhabi.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, so I'm grateful for it. Beyond grateful for it. It doesn't look it, but it may be the weight cut or some situation right now. But I'm super excited.
No, dude, that's crazy. What about branding wise and business wise? I see Pono's got shirts. He's rocking the hash, the good hash, all that kind
Yeah,
of stuff. Like, what do you have aspirations for that kind of stuff?
oh, I do. I mean, I've been doing that for a very long time. I'm choosing my value, my worth. So I'm not just going to sign with anyone, you know, and that would be stupid of me because it does not respect the other sponsors that have a bigger name, if that makes sense. So
Yeah, it definitely does.
if I go and just like accept everyone that I want, it's not going to be respectful. It's not going to be respectful to, for example, Head Rush or you know Tap Out back then, bigger name product.
Right.
So I'm being very selective, and that's the reason why I have a manager. So he does all that.
No, no. I think that's smart because knowing the history of combat sports, right? It's so crazy to me, even as just a fan, that there's already like 27 something sponsors. Views are off the charts. It's exploding, yet nobody knows it exists. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So I think you're smart to wait because it's just gonna get more options and bigger money.
yeah. I learned very well with the marketing part and also the management part. Um, so I've been associated with other managers that have representations and clients that they manage, and I learn from them. So as much as I can gather information that I can gather in order to further my progress as a professional athlete and who I'm representing, and that's what I'm going to take in. So that's the
Dude,
best
I
thing.
love that. I love that. Well, man, I am so stoked that you came on.
Oh yeah, that's really cool.
Dude, I'm so stoked you got this plan, and it's going to be so cool to watch all you guys just grow and do all that. But like, we say it a lot, but like, we went to 8, powerslap 8.
Yeah.
Because I'm a huge MMA guy, right? So I wanted to go see Paige Van Zant. That was like sort of the motivation. I asked this guy, hey, you want to go? It's tomorrow. He's like, yeah. So we get a turn and burn to Vegas. And I'm so happy we did because you get there because I wanted to see Paige Van Zant, former UFC fighter. And then you leave going, what the fuck was that?
Yeah.
Like,
Crazy.
this Russian dumpling guy comes up and murks the guy. Crazy's like, eat that shit. Like, it's the coolest thing. And I love that you gave us some time so you can show us your angle of it and all those things, man. We really appreciate that.
Of course, absolutely. And I love what Dumpling has done too. And he's a huge name in this sport for sure. I believe the Crazy Hawaiian had said this too, that he came into this with aspiration and being inspired by the Crazy Dumpling. So shout out to him. But at the same time, I feel like they specifically spoon fed him on Slap 8, Power Slap 8. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, shout out to his opponent too for taking a slap on his chin from a very well known competitor. But I feel like he could have competed against someone else in order to get the spot against the champ.
Yeah, no, I hear you. It's almost like it was a formality, maybe.
Correct.
And dude, unfortunately, that's kind of how. I mean, emotionally, that's how it felt with your last opponent. If I'm being honest, it's like, oh, dude, this guy's dead. This guy's dead.
I'm not gonna lie, that's exactly how I felt too. But it is what it is. At the end of the day, if it gets us closer to that belt or to the title and sustaining the title, that's what we're here for. We're athletes. I like to look at it as we're modern gladiators.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
100%. Well, you got any more questions, big guy?
Not really. I can't really think of any.
You good?
I'm just excited.
He's still shocked because I texted him and I was like, I'm going to come check you out, man.
That's all good. I'm grateful. I'm super grateful to have both of you guys and, be able to share my story too with you guys too.
Yeah, 100%. We're going to have you back on because I want to get into your life story a little bit as well when we have a bit more time. But again, thank you so much. It means a lot. And I can't wait to see your next 2 matches. And UK doesn't know what's coming his way. That's just what I think.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun one.
Same. Thank you guys so much.
All right, brother. Thank you so much. Hang on for a sec. Okay. Let me get some.